Always figured this was how it was gonna end for me. Just didn't know when. That day you showed up in Novak, I had a feeling I was supposed to go with you. That it was time to end all this. And now I know.
Craig Boone is one of the best followers, not just in Fallout, but in any Bethesda game. Rather than simply being an additional inventory to give all your junk to,
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Boone is a great character. He has a tragic backstory and his own questline, with multiple different endings, depending on the actions of the player. In this video, I'm going to take a look at Boone's backstory and how he deals with grief, trauma and regret in Fallout New Vegas. When the player arrives in Novak, on our way to find Benny, we discover there's a strange tension in the town. Novak is a small town on the way to the New Vegas Strip, along the old Highway 95. It has a strange dinosaur statue called Dinky the T-Rex, and is home to the Dino Delight Motel. It's led by Jeannie Mae Crawford, the operator of the motel, and is home to a number of residents, including Boone. Jeannie is a proud woman, and gets offended if we ask what's the quickest way out of this dump. She seems a little defensive about her town, but we have no idea at the time about her dark secret, and just how far she's willing to go when someone insults her town. After she's done talking about her dislike for city folk, we find out that Manny may know something about Benny. Manny is on security detail in Novak. He works up in the dinosaur during the day, and we find out that his fellow First Recon sniper, Craig Boone, works during the night. Together they protect the town from external threats, whether ghouls or even Caesar's Legion. After they got out of the NCR, Manny talked Boone into settling down in Novak. He mentions that they're no longer on good terms.
Boone's a sniper, same as me. Used to spot for him when we were enlisted with the NCR. I'd introduce you, but we're not so friendly right now.
Manny didn't get along with Boone's wife, Carla. Carla went missing one day, and since then, Boone refuses to speak to Manny, most likely assuming that he had something to do with it. Manny didn't like Carla, to put it politely.
And here was this woman who was too good for it, trying to take him away. So yeah, I didn't see eye to eye with the bitch. Me and his wife, we didn't see eye to eye on some things. We had some pretty big arguments. One day, she turns up missing, and he hasn't said a word to me since.
Manny didn't like Carla, as he thought she was stuck up and too good for life in a little town like Novak. We learned that Manny was a member of a raider tribe, known as the Great Khans. When he and Boone were sent to Bitter Springs, a Great Khan settlement, he faked being sick so he didn't have to go, as he says he knew people there.
Plus, I was up at Camp Golf when Bitter Springs went down. I faked like I was sick to get out of going because I knew some of the people there. But when everybody came back, nobody would tell me what happened, and people would call us murderers sometimes when we showed up to secure towns.
When we asked Manny why he left First Recon, he mentioned that something went down at Bitter Springs, and that people are now calling the First Recon murderers. But he doesn't know much more than that, and everyone refuses to speak about it.
I still don't know exactly. Just that a lot of people died who didn't want to be a part of the fighting at all. I don't blame anybody for it. There's so much chaos when you're fighting. You're lucky not to shoot your own guys. But it did take something out of it for me. It just wasn't the same. So when it came time to re-enlist, I just took my papers and walked.
If we return to the dinosaur at night, we can finally meet Boone.
God damn it. Don't sneak up on me like that. What do you want?
He's initially hesitant about speaking to us, but as we're new in town, he asks for our help in finding out what happened to his wife. He tells us that his wife was taken by Legion slavers, and that someone in Novak is responsible.
Wait. You just got into town. Maybe you shouldn't go. Not just yet. I need someone I can trust. You're a stranger. That's a start. I said it was a start. This town, nobody looks me straight in the eye anymore. I want you to find something out for me. I don't know if there's anything to find, but I need someone to try. My wife was taken from our home by Legion slavers one night while I was on watch. They knew when to come and what route to take, and they only took Carla. Someone set it up. I don't know who.
We find out that Carla is dead, and he wants revenge on whoever sold her. It's our job to find out who did it, by speaking to the residents in the town and finding clues. Once we do find out who did it, we have to walk in front of the dinosaur with them, wearing Boone's First Recon beret, where he'll take them out. After speaking with the residents in the town, we find out Carla was not well liked. She thought she was better than Novak, and people thought she was stuck up.
Can't say we spoke much. Boone did most of the buying for him. She was in the store once, but she didn't stay long. Had a look on her face like she'd smelled something sour. But far as I can remember, the gift shop smelled fine. Well, fine as it always does.
Believe me, when I heard the news, my first thought was, I owe somebody big. I figured Boone would come around after a while. But he hasn't. I'm starting to think that if he doesn't find her, things will never go back to the way they were. Man, everybody. That girl didn't have one friend in this whole town. She didn't want any. She wanted to sit in her room all day and make herself miserable, and she went out of her way to be rude. She upset a lot of people. You wouldn't have liked her either.
That wasn't the only reason she stuck out, though. That girl never minced words. If she'd had better food or hospitality, she'd let you hear it. Trouble was, she usually had. I don't think she meant it. She really was a sweet girl. I think she just wanted to remind herself that there's still nicer places in this world than Novak. Who could blame her for that?
I know he thinks she was kidnapped, but I'm not so sure she didn't just run off on her own. You could tell she was thinking about it ever since they arrived. I got the feeling she was trying to get Boone to leave with her, but I guess she got tired of waiting.
However, it's only after breaking into Jeannie's safe that we find the bill of sale. Jeannie sold not only Carla, but Carla's unborn child to the Legion. After we lead Jeannie out to the front of the dinosaur, Boone takes his shot. We can tell Boone about the bill of sale, but also, as it's Fallout New Vegas, we also have the option to say we thought it was Jeannie just because we felt like it, to which Boone will become hostile.
That's it then. How did you know? You sick bastard. You better be ready to join her.
Once Boone kills Jeannie, we can convince him to become our follower. He won't help the player if they're too friendly with the Legion, and he'll shoot any Legion members on sight.
You don't want to do that. Yeah. Working on your own, you're a lot less effective. I've been there and paid for it. But this isn't gonna end well. Fine. Let's get out of here.
It's then that Boone joins the player on their journey. He still won't tell us about what happened to his wife, or what his involvement was at the massacre at Bitter Springs. It might seem like his story is over, but the game has a system where, when we travel with him, we can get history points with him, and he'll gradually reveal more information about himself. The points come from doing certain activities related to him, like killing Caesar, Vulpes Inculta, or wiping out Cottonwood Cove, where his wife was taken to and to be sold. We need to amass 5 history points with him to get his full backstory and to unlock another quest relating to resolving his trauma. This really is a great way that the game makes you feel like you're getting to know him and going on an adventure together, as you get small pieces of information as you journey with him. After killing Vulpes Inculta in this playthrough, we can question him about Bitter Springs, but he still won't tell us what happened.
We won. Look, we've done some traveling together, but we're not exactly comrades in arms. I'm not ready to swap war stories. Maybe some other time.
In this playthrough, I took him to Cottonwood Cove and wiped it out before killing Caesar, after which Boone will reveal what happened to his wife.
We're near a Legion slave camp now. I've been here before. Let's get one thing straight. I see any crimson, I'm taking the shot. You don't like that, you're on your own. I don't think I'd hold it against you. Caesar's dead. Bet he didn't see this coming when he was having his coffee this morning. Still, it's not gonna stop the Legion. It might not even slow them down. Intel we had back in the NCR said they had a whole succession lined up. They'll replace him as soon as word gets out. The other thing I heard is that he wasn't really commanding the army anymore. Guess we made sure of that. Yeah. That was some kind of stunt we pulled. Whatever happens from here on out, we killed that prick in the middle of his fortress. Ought to give the rest of them something to think about. I don't see what this helps. She's dead. All right. She I tracked her down. Southeast, near the river. They were selling her. Saw it through my scope. Whole place swarming with legion, hundreds of them, bidding for things no man has a right to. I just had my rifle with me. Just me against all of them. So I took the shot. Yeah. What they do to women, that's worse than death. There was no choice in what I did. It was more like being forced to watch something you can't stop. All this was only ever gonna play out one way. It still is. I don't have any say. All I can do is wait for it to be done with me. It was gonna be something. If I'd never met Carla, it would have been something else. I should have never gotten close to her. I've got bad things coming to me. You better keep your distance too. Because fair is fair. Better that you don't.
We learn that Boone killed his wife, rather than let her become a Legion slave, and he has to live with the regret of killing his own wife, an unborn child. But that's not all. After speaking with Sergeant Bitterroot at Camp McCarran, we finally learn what happened at Bitter Springs. The NCR massacred the Great Khans at Bitter Springs.
I'm Bitterroot, 1st Recon. You got a reason to talk to me? It was a massacre. That's what a lot of NCR folk will tell you. Most of them feel plenty bad about what happened. But I was there. Saw it myself. I don't care what anybody says. The Khans asked for Bitter Springs. They wouldn't leave the NCR be. My damn parents, too. They were just as bad as the rest. Don't I? Mister, you never met my parents. My dad, he got himself f***ed up every chance he got. Always started with folk for no reason. Hell, he was the one who taught me to shoot. You know how? By taking pot shots at NCR, and not just soldiers. Civilians, too. Even kids. Then he'd get high with his buddies and swap tales about the folk they killed. Bunch of animals.
If we go to the Great Khan's home, Red Rock Canyon, the Great Khan members get angry at the player for even daring to bring Boone there, calling him a murderer.
You know you're traveling with a fucking murderer?
Once we finally get 5 history points, Boone will tell his side of the story.
There was a miscommunication. Yeah, I guess that'd be the word. We did what we were there to do. A lot of people got killed. That's war. Maybe looking back, you do things differently. But that's not how it works. In the field, you hesitate, you or someone you care about will die. They teach that from day one. You don't come out of a tour of duty without regrets. It's best just not to think about it. Life has a way of punishing you for the mistakes you make. Big enough mistake, punishment can take a while. Mine's not over. A murderer who does good deeds is still a murderer. And he'll still get his judgment. I left the NCR when my tour was up. Had enough of war. And decided I was gonna start over. None of it made a difference in the end. Because I'm still alive. Yeah. Always. Even when I sleep. I don't think so. It won't change anything. And that's a memory I don't want refreshed.
He views the fact that he's still alive as punishment for what he did. Even after he left the NCR and tried to rebuild his life with Carla, none of it made any difference. He constantly lives with the guilt about what happened at Bitter Springs and the death of his wife. It's here we can ask him if he wants to go back to Bitter Springs with us. He'll initially refuse, but the next time we speak to him, he agrees.
Hey, I thought some more about what you said. I think maybe you're right. Maybe I should go to Bitter Springs. I don't know what I'm hoping to find there. Nothing. Dream. Just tired of thinking about it. I hope this isn't a mistake.
Upon arriving at Bitter Springs, we will start his final quest, and its outcome will decide his ending. He tells us about what happened. The NCR thought that Bitter Springs was a gang hideout, but it was actually the Great Khan's home.
This is the place. We got sent from Camp Gulf looking for some Khans who'd been making trouble with one of our settlements. I guess one of the settlers was connected because we sent everything we had. We figured this was a gang hideout, but they'd led us to their home. There's a ridge called Coyote Tail on the south side. That's where we set up.
They set up at Coyote Tail Ridge, which was the Great Khan's only escape, as another force attacked their base. But instead of raiders, women and children poured out of the canyon, but they were instructed to shoot.
Canyon 37. That's what the NCR calls the pass down there. It was the Khan's only escape, so we set up here to guard it while the main force attacked from the front. Standing orders were to shoot on sight. Main force got spotted too soon. We heard shooting. Then Khan started coming through Canyon 37 in bunches. It was all wrong, though. Women, kids, elderly, wounded started coming through too. We radioed to confirm our orders, but command didn't get what we were seeing. They told us to shoot till we were out of ammo, so that's what we did. But the Khans, any of them can be dangerous. There's a lot you can't see through a scope. Still, I often wonder the same thing. Anyway, I don't know why we're here. Thought maybe it'd help me see things better. I'd like to stay here for the night. Think some things over. All right. We won't stay for long.
The player can stay at the canyon with Boone for the night. Upon waking up, we find out that Caesar's Legion has arrived to get more slaves from the Great Khans. Boone says that this is the moment he's been waiting for, even though the Legion looks too big, even for the both of us to attack.
Something's wrong. Got a group coming our way. Looks like a Legion raiding party. It's big. Might be too big, even for us. If you want out, I won't blame you, but I'm gonna stay. See if I can hold them off. If only it was this easy all the time. Easy target for grabbing slaves. Bunch of refugees, just a few soldiers defending it. I don't think they're here for us. Too bad. Would have made me feel good about myself. I'm not. Always figured this was how it was gonna end for me. Just didn't know when. That day you showed up in Novak, I had a feeling I was supposed to go with you. That it was time to end all this. And now I know. Tell the truth, I think this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Boone and the player then have to defend Bitter Springs and repel the Legion's attack. Once that's done, Boone can't believe he's still alive.
We made it through after all. Not sure what to make of that. Guess I did. Guess I figured whatever we could handle. This time the Legion was gonna send more. I should have died here a long time ago. When I spotted the Legionaries today, I thought I understood. Things were finally gonna even out. But I'm still here and nothing's changed. I never thought of it that way. Always expected something more final. But maybe it is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about all this.
There are two ways to resolve the quest from here. We can either convince Boone to come to terms with what happened, and to make amends, or convince him to become vengeful and uncaring. These two endings also change depending on who wins the Battle of Hoover Dam, for a total of 7 different endings for Boone. None of these endings are happy exactly, and some of them are downright bad. But as with most things in the Mojave Wasteland, it's a bit more complicated than just good or bad. There's the ending where he just dies, which is the least interesting ending. If the NCR win at Hoover Dam, and we convince Boone to make amends, he re-enlists with his old unit and spends his free time hunting slavers in the desert. But if the NCR wins and we convince him to become vengeful, he heads to California in search of the officer who gave the order to attack Bitter Springs with just 2 bullets, hoping to finally end his suffering. If you get the Mr. House or Yes Man endings and convince Boone to make amends, he'll work as a security guard in the Strip. But if he's vengeful, he'll become an assassin. And finally, if Caesar's Legion wins at Hoover Dam and Boone has made amends, he'll lead a deadly campaign against high-ranking Legion officers. However, if he's vengeful, he'll be driven mad and launch a final stand against the Legate, fighting as he wished he'd fought on the day of his wife's death. He'll bring down scores of legionaries, before finally being crucified. The Legate himself expresses his admiration for Boone's actions, to which Boone will spit tobacco in his eye, for all of Caesar's armies to see. Craig Boone really is one of the greatest followers in any Bethesda game. He's a complex character, dealing with guilt and grief, and for just a side character that some players might even miss, He has 2 unique quests and 7 endings. This really shows the thought and effort put into Fallout New Vegas, and when you compare him to some of the other followers, like Lydia from Skyrim, who acts as little more than a walking additional inventory with no story whatsoever, Boone really stands out as one of my favourite characters in gaming. I'm Firelink Frontier and thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing.